Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we have a story from our brother who is from one of our brothers who is sharing with us the kind of life he has lived and how his action is tormenting him. In this captivating story, Benjamin shares with us the kind of life and the things he has done when seeking for money and wealth. He says some astonishing things that got me into disbelief. Now, he is telling us to be more careful of our actions and our quest in finding money because, even him, the kind of problems he's facing now, is what caused him to tell us about his life as a young man seeking for wealth. As part of our policy, I've edited the names, locations to hide their identity. Without wasting much of your time, let's go and listen to the story.
Hello brother, thank you for communicating with me, as I would like to share with you my deepest scar with you and possibly your audience, so that they can one way or the other learn from my mistakes. I have been listening to your platform and the kind of confessions happening there. I realized I am not the only one going through this situation. I got to know that a lot of people are getting themselves involved in this mess. So, I decided to also share my story so that my brothers and sisters out there who might be listening to my story can take something from my story. The good work you are doing. You might not know how you are affecting people who comes into contact with what you put out there. I feel, at this point of my life, I need to share with the world some of the things that goes on in the dark, the secret of some of the big men and even the young guys and ladies going about driving in these big cars. My name is Benjamin. I have been an apprentice to my master for about 2 years and he traveled. Before his traveling, he told his wife to allow me manage the business. So, every week, there is an amount I was supposed to give to the wife. She agreed to the arrangements her husband did. And so, the husband left, leaving me with 2 other guys who had come to learn. So, they automatically became my apprentice. We worked and lived at the shop just like our master was around, until one day, his wife told us that she is bringing in her cousin to also come and learn from me. Little did we know that this her cousin was to just come and give her information about us at the shop. After some time of the cousin at the shop, my master's wife called for a meeting and told you that she doesn't want us at the shop again. We are milking her and the husband of huge sums of money. This she said, someone close had told her. We pleaded with her to allow us to work there because we have nowhere to go if she sacks us. Even though what she was accusing us of was not true, we had to beg her so that we can have food to eat. But then, she had made up her mind. Nothing we said or did change her mind. Just like that, we were asked to leave the place. I called her husband my master and told him what his wife is doing. He promised to talk to her and get back to me. He told me later that his wife will call me, but looking at the situation, I called him and told him not to worry himself. He didn't understand, but I told him that I didn't want to be a cause for any problem between himself and his wife. I thanked him for everything he did for me and walked away from his wife and the shop. I had plans to start something small for myself, but the money to even buy the machines I needed to start was not there. This woman had shattered my dreams and everything. I had this vision of taking carpentry works to a different level. But all was cut short because of this woman. It was later that I got to know that her cousin was actually not there to learn, but rather had knowledge of the work and she wanted him to have the shop to operate. Things became really difficult for me, because leaving the shop meant that I was supposed to leave the house. Because I was living with my master and his wife. They were using 2-bedroom apartment whilst he had rented a single room in the same house for me. The man really took me like his own family member. He always talked about how he saw himself in me and that he was praying that one day I would grow to become a very good carpenter, even better than himself. This was the kind of man God had blessed me with. He always allowed me to express myself when it comes to designs and anything relating to work. There was nothing really that he hid from me when it came to work. But his traveling saw all these beautiful dreams I had brought to an unexpected end. But then, I told myself that I will make it no matter what happens. I was still determining to make it in life but didn't have any idea as to how and what to do to push these my beautiful dreams and visions forward. Back in my secondary education, I was a visual arts student. So, when it came to creating and drawing of designs before the actual work is done, I was so much perfect. I wanted to inculcate this knowledge in school and the one I had gotten from my master to make a very unique art pieces when it came to this carpentry work. I saw carpentry as an art form and not just woodwork. I did a whole lot of jobs and work when I left my master's house in order to get some funding to start my own thing. But then, the more I tried, the more frustrated I became. It's either someone is making a fool out of you or running away with your money. One day, as I was working and wondering how I was going to make it in life and help push my family in a way that I came across a very big carpentry shop. I don't know what pushed me to enter into this shop. I got there and I asked about the owner of the place. I was told he's gone to their showroom and would be back in no time. I waited and waited, but he was not coming. So, I told the guy that I met there that I was going and would return the next day. On my way home, I came to meet some people loading some furniture into a container bus. I decided to help them. After helping them, the man in charge thanked me and I went my way. The next day, I went to the shop and to my surprise, the owner was this very same person I helped them load their furniture into the bus. He was pleased to meet me, and when I told him about my story and the knowledge I have, he offered to help me. He gave me some woods and asked me to put up some furniture to prove what I am telling him is true. I went home and used my knowledge in visual arts and designed a very nice furniture and started putting it together. In about 4 days, the furniture was done and the man including his workers were so much impressed with what I did. He gave me an offer to work for him. But my work was purely on special clients who works demand serious artwork. So, I was some kind of special worker who only attended to special works. I worked for him until one day he called me into his house for some talks. He told me of how good I have been to him as a worker, and sometimes I go out of my way to do things that is not my duty. He told me to start my own shop. And I told him I can't since I don't have enough capital to start what he wanted me to do. He laughed and told me I don't see what he sees in me. Our discussion went on for about a month and he asked me to escort him to a place. When we got to the place, it was a piece of a quarter plot. He told me that he wanted to give the land to me as a foundation to my life. He said he wanted to give it to me as a sign of his willingness to help me go extra mile in my journey. This was like a dream come true. I was so much in shock and in tears. He hugged me and told me not to cry. He said I deserve it more than I think. When we came home, he asked to go and see where I live. I didn't want to at first because I was living with a friend. I felt he'll see me to be not serious because the place was not all that good. I didn't rent any good place because I wanted to save the money and use it for setting up my business. But he insisted I take him to my house. I took him to the place. All this while, I was living in a kiosk. After visiting my place, he told me he wanted me to move away from where I was to a new place. I didn't understand why he was doing all those things for me. I asked him and he said that he's seen the good in me and wanted to help me bring it out. He told me that, since he has a showroom, he wanted me to be his go-to person who will supply his showroom with good furniture. After everything, I went to my mother and told her the good news. It was like almost getting to a year since I left home. She had not set her eyes on me all through that time. She was full of tears when she saw me. I ate from her plate once again from that long period of time that I had eaten with her. After everything, she prayed for me and blessed me. I gave her some money and promised I would be visiting her every month. My younger brother had grown and was very happy to see me. He wanted to come with me. But I told him to take care of our mother. I told them my plans to have us all live in one house in the very near future.
Please kindly subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Like I always say, these are not just stories for story's sake. They are meant for us not to make these mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. That's why we share these stories with you. Let us please be vigilant of the things that we encounter and leads us into these kinds of situations. All these people come to us in disguise. They will promise you with everything in the world, so you don't see them for who they truly are. I pray that we learn from some of these stories and live a better life. If not for anything at all, it pays to live a decent and better life. As I always say, we are not here to race with ourselves. Therefore, do the little you can and ask your Creator to bless your handwork. Please let's be mindful of the choices that we make. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.